Hello everyone, and welcome to the graphic design / digital art portion of this showcase. I'm super excited to share with you so many just beautiful pieces of work. Our theme this year was the topic of mental health, and I had decided that we should do a magazine piece where there's 4 different pages that students get to put their creativity into. The reason I chose this is because I was actually inspired from a game called Life is Strange 2, where the main character actually works out a lot of their thoughts and feelings and anxieties and heavy life events through journaling plus drawing. So we sort of did a combo of writing, journaling, and drawing, and I wanted the students to have a space to be able to do both, and I wanted to give them a space to do digital or do traditional artwork. So you'll see a big mix of both traditional and digital artwork because, in my opinion, as an artist, none of us want to be stuck or tied to a specific medium. I wanted to give the students as much creative freedom as possible with all of these different routes. With that being said, you will see a cover page from all of the students, which would cover their main theme or something they've been struggling with emotionally. You'll see a comic page. Lots of them did a comic referring to a specific mental illness that they have personally struggled with throughout their life. You'll see an inspiration page where I encourage them to draw anything that makes them feel good, makes them feel inspired so they don't feel tied down. Because once you get into the industry, especially in the creative field, it can be very often that we don't actually get to express our emotions and our feelings, even though creativity is something that lays close to our heart. But once you get into the industry, it becomes a job essentially, and there's somewhere to find that balance, which is what I tried to teach the students here. And lastly, you'll find a career page or a page for hope, a page for moving forward and what they plan to see in the future. You'll see a big mix of all these things in the video. Without further ado, please enjoy the showcase, and thank you so much to my students, to Mario, to Bruce, to Valerie, to everybody involved, to Dee. You guys did great. This was an awesome showcase and I can't wait for you to see. Let's do this.
Hi, my name is McKenna. I wanted my magazine to focus on the struggles of being constantly in my head and listening to myself, but in ways that makes me doubtful, and how that struggle is like a very surreal thing to me every day. I wanted my magazine to kind of help me with that, remind me that I'm not as bad as I constantly tell myself, and hopefully that others can relate to it too. One of my biggest inspirations is a YouTuber named ABD Illustrates. He is like an amazing character design artist. I've been following him for a while, and just like looking at his work inspires me all the time, and what he does, literally exactly what he does, is what I want to do when I as a career.
One of the things that I think was so special about McKenna's work is filling a world that seems dull with color and imagination. Oftentimes, creativity can be the thing that sparks the new life in our dull lives.
My overall theme for my magazine was the mental health illness of death. I feel as if death is a big part of life, so a lot of people that try and see it as a problem or see it as a major thing shouldn't, due to the fact that it is inevitable. It will happen. So I always believe that you should live life to the fullest up until that very last moment that happens. So this piece is based on my favorite video game character, Sonic, and my love for dogs. The dog was based on my own dog, Lady, and she was a very big inspiration to me on this piece. Sonic has always been an inspiration for my last couple years. The reason why that would be is because we have a lot of similarities and we compare to each other in a lot of ways. So that is the reason why I chose both of these figures for my drawing. Hey, hello, look what I made. That's nice. Look at my art. Oh, that's nice. What's wrong? Oh, nothing. See you tomorrow. See you. I need to get better.
Whitney did a really fantastic job of finding this delicate balance between kind of heavy topics versus things that are fun, and really reminds us to not take life too seriously, even though it can feel really overwhelming. Thank you, Whitney.
My favorite page out of this magazine is my career page because I just love the graphic design of it. I love the fonts I chose and the format I put the pictures in and the circles also. But this is Jennie from Blackpink. She's a K-pop idol from South Korea. She's a singer and a rapper who debuted in 2016. I am inspired by her fashion. If it's her stylist that designs her clothes, I think that her clothes are out of this world and very creative. And she's also one of my favorite rappers in K-pop, and she can sing very well too, and I love singing. Her personality and confidence also gets her labeled as one of Korea's it girls. I don't even know where to start. So many ideas, but none of the right thoughts. Maybe if I found some inspiration. Wait, maybe I have something. No, that's not good enough. I'm just gonna watch Netflix.
One of my favorite parts about Wylan is that Wylan always did her best to just redo her work if she wasn't proud of it, and that is a huge mark of a truly great artist, and Wylan really grew a ton in this class. Thank you, Wylan.
My main mental health focus that I chose was isolation. I wanted to show to the viewer what isolation looks like to people and how to cope with the mental struggles that come from it, such as anxiety and depression. Out of all the pages I created, I think my favorite is the career page because of how it's laid out and its color palette. Next, I will show a comic page that I created based on isolation, and here's the comic page.
Wasn't that movie great? Sure was. Overall, Dominic did an amazing job going for the feeling of isolation, especially through the comic and story lens. And everybody had a ton of fun voice acting it, so thank you, Dominic, for giving all of our voice actors a chance to bloom.
The main mental health focus of my magazine is appearing fine on the outside when in reality you are struggling on the inside. I wanted to envision the struggle through this glitchy substance that engulfs the character, which shows the reality of the character and that not everything is actually fine. I would say my favorite page had to be my inspiration page because although I wouldn't say it's the most cohesive with the magazine themes, I had the most fun with it and spent a lot of time working on the concept that I based off a specific song that I enjoyed. The song is called Beep Beep by a soloist named Ruan.
I would say one of my favorite things about Adrian's work is their ability to have their whole magazine match a specific aesthetic and color palette. Adrian also early on told me about this glitch art idea that they had, and I absolutely loved it and told them to run with it as it really helped depict the feelings of mental health and how we can feel internally. Thank you, Adrian.
So the theme of my magazine is about sleep and insomnia type thing. I struggle with that a lot, especially like during the nighttime, how my mental health affects the way I sleep and my sleep schedule. So I wanted to do something based off that. For my comic, it doesn't really have any words. I try to base it off of my experiences, like a scenario that I would go through during the nighttime, like, stay up on my phone, then a time where like I'd have to like shut it off and finally go to sleep, but I'm unable to. I just can't sleep.
Trinity did an absolutely outstanding job with the little doodles and character that she created around this whole theme and this whole color palette, really representing what it's like for her to struggle with this sleep disorder. She also had a really cute inspiration page with her favorite character Hatsune Miku, and also a really great career page that tied her work together. Nice job, Trinity.
Hello, I am Kelby. My magazine is mainly about the experiences of mental health and how it can take you through quite a few different emotions. And there's a lot of things that goes on, but one thing that's important to note is that everyone is going through their own different things, and a lot of people are experiencing what you are experiencing. And so my different pages, I try to show off different emotions and different settings that possibly might make you laugh or make you think, I should draw today. Wait a second, I don't know what to draw. No, it's okay. I'll find inspiration on Pinterest. Scroll. Later that night, and you're still scrolling.
Kelby did a fantastic job at exploring a ton of different routes and directions with his magazine. He also gets the Best Voice Actor award because he was always enthusiastic to participate with the voice acting and always just made it really fun, made everybody laugh because all the excitable voice acting was it was great. It was fantastic. Thank you, Kelby. Great work on your magazine.
I drew this about like what people had said to me, but like I had drew this or like somebody that I know. I just added them words knowing that they told me everything. They said them words, so people was like talking about her because like she was going through something. I think like that's like about mental health. Like people always gotta say something about you, like they really don't know what's going on. Yeah, that's about that one. So this is the one about like my cartoon character. Like you see how like Goku like rage in the back, like. Like that's how like his basketball ability Yeah, goes like he go crazy in the game, and that's like the 2004 is like the year I was born, and that's my lucky number 4. I got to be great. I got a text. Somebody got an offer that's younger than me. I put in all this work, still not get an offer, and I'm still a senior. Should I quit?
Lamar did a really great job portraying a lot of feelings we all feel with mental health, especially in Lamar's comic and story, where he talks about how sometimes we really compare ourselves to other people and we get frustrated when people who are younger or better looking than or more skilled at do something before we do. We all struggle with this idea of comparison. Great job showcasing that, Lamar.
I was inspired to do this because I feel like mental health is something that someone has to start to get better with on their own. Like they have to choose their own path, and the person who's affected by it has to realize and has to contribute to getting better first before anyone else can help them. It's really important to what's affecting you and how you can help yourself before going to others. So I chose to do this because I feel like it reflects a really lonely kind of not alone but dark, damp sort of setting, and I feel like it represents what I was trying to convey.
When Lucas first brought up this topic about traveling on this train and stopping at these different stations for self-love, I was really excited about the idea because I really do agree with him that oftentimes it's a unique journey to all of us. We'll make different train stops and we'll have different people aboard our train and we'll just keep trying our best to get better. Good job, Lucas.
My main mental health focus on my magazine is for others to like it and to promote my artwork to others that need help promoting theirs. I chose to go with me watching Stranger Things on my TV in my room and me talking on the phone with one of my best friends because I thought it was a cool combo. It is also one of my favorite things to do. I love watching TV and talking on the phone with one of my best friends. It is so fun.
Jayla did a really great job reminding us what it is like to just do things we enjoy, to take a break and take it easy, especially when we are stressed out or struggling with mental health. Great job, Jayla.
My magazine is titled Petals, and I try to incorporate the theme of flowers and petals with mental health into my magazine pages. I mainly focused on loneliness and isolation, especially in my comic page, and my favorite page to make was probably my inspiration page because I like drawing all of the small details and I enjoyed the creative freedom I had with that piece. I feel this lingering feeling of emptiness. Sometimes I feel guilty for feeling like I have a family, I have friends, and I have hobbies, but even small moments of happiness can't get rid of those feelings. I used to be so adamant on searching for the cause, but all it did was allow for more self-doubt. Day by day, these feelings eat me up like a parasite. When can I be freed from these thorns? When can I bloom as a new person? I feel as if I've run out of solutions. I will be lonely forever.
Gielli had a very beautiful theme and aesthetic and color palette for her magazine, and it was overall just really well executed with the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions of what it's like to be lonely through the symbolism of flowers and petals. Gielli also took a really cool twist on doing both traditional art mixed with digital art, which created this very interesting feeling that I believe helped support the mood. Great job, Gielli.
My theme of my magazine is emotions, and it's mostly about self-doubt, about one feeling doubt about their own artwork, and that they don't feel good enough about their artwork. And I just wanted to make that like the overall theme for my magazine. This is my career page, and today I wanted to focus on Benny Productions. Benny Productions is a graphic designer and digital artist, and he produces Photoshop edits and artwork and uploads his content to YouTube. He has made multiple creative videos on his channel, such as Realistified, which is my favorite. And as you can see right there on the right, it is one of his Realistified artworks. He inspires me a lot, and I would like to do stuff like his in the future because it is something I want to do, and it's where I want to take my career.
Lupe came up with this really cool idea of having the magazine be like an art exhibit where it would exhibit his artwork while talking about the topic of mental health and self-doubt as an artist. Lupe did an extremely nice job experimenting with lots of different colors and layouts. Great job, Lupe.
I love this part was because I was having a hard time choosing what I wanted to do, and I wanted to do it because when you feel pain, you know it, you feel it, but how to show it is hard, and the way you try to visualize it is different and unexplainable. that's why I did this. I used a dark art and someone crying because it showed the pain and the suffering someone had been through. And I tried my best to use words, letters to um to give the person a story, like a mind of his own, to like be able to say the mind. And the reason I titled it My Pain was because it was my pain, your pain, and no one can take that from you, no matter what. I chose this art because it shows how much painting is important to me, and it shows the other aspect that I need to work on.
Fatima really touched on a soft but true topic where everyone has their own experience of what their pain is, and nobody can take that away from you. Really beautiful message, Fatima. Thank you so much for working on this.
The main mental health focus of my magazine was basically just to feel inspired whenever I'm feeling down or when I'm unmotivated to do any artwork. My favorite magazine page was the inspiration page just because I got to do whatever I wanted to and I really had fun with that. Alright, I'm done. It must not have been good enough. Wow, that's so bad, it sucks.
Franco did a really great job pushing himself throughout this class to really get the best work that he could with making changes whenever requested. Franco's comic was also another really relatable one for all the artists out there who are really feeling stuck or frustrated with their work. You're not alone. Thanks, Franco.
In this picture, I'm just talking about what our new generation is going through. Is that they're too connected to this virtual life and they're spending their all the time on social media, chatting, uploading stories, sending streaks, or just trying to talk about here how distracted this new generation is. So in this story, it was about not being good enough. So there were two characters. One was Sarah, one was Jess. Both of them are friends. Jess was going through a problem where she always complains that she's not being good enough. Nothing looks good on her, and Sarah always motivates her that it looks good on you and it's not bad. So Jess got new clothes and she was asking if these clothes are good. So Sarah said it's beautiful.
Really great takeaways here are fought. Honestly, yes, social media is destroying our world in lots of ways, and it is also building it in lots of ways, so we have to find good ways to use it. Thank you so much for your work. You did great. Thank you.
My main mental health focus of my magazine was about thoughts and feelings, positive or negative, and how they can affect your daily life. My favorite magazine page is my inspiration page because I love the colors I used for it and I overall had a lot of fun making it. Time to upload this on Twitter. Faker.
Copycat.
Faker.
Imposter.
Winter had a lot of really cool pieces in here, and the one that I liked a lot was the comic because it started putting a finger on something we all deal with again, which is imposter syndrome. There's many examples of imposter syndrome being talked about throughout all these magazines where people feel like they're faking it or they're not real or they don't deserve the success that they get. Great job, Winter. This was made very well.
The mental health focus on my magazine was to touch on topics that I often feel and that others definitely feel as well, such as disassociation and imposter syndrome. I also wanted this magazine to be a sort of motivation for myself too, since I put my creativity in for this project. I wanted the inspiration page to feel like a cheer up and the career part to feel like there's hope as an artist and that it's okay to feel these things. Oh my,
yes.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh my god. Change in the industry.
I wasn't expecting people to come. I mean, sure, it's just a couple people, but people like my stuff. But would people truly like this? I'm telling the public about my comic, but is it as good as I portray it as? What if I just fail? What if my comic is just not as good as the other comics and story creators I've seen? What if this crowd is disappointed with the outcome later on? There's so much pressure on me now. Maybe I don't deserve this crowd at all.
Amazing drawing skills, vibrant colors, and an overall wonderful magazine theme. Ben, you absolutely did amazing. Covering imposter syndrome, disassociation, and so many feelings that all of us deeply feel, and you told the story wonderfully. You should be super proud of yourself. You got this, and you're going to crush it with your comic moving forward. As Kelby said, change in the industry. You got this.
I drew this page to go with the idea of loneliness In this piece, the apple is reading a book alone while a worm is watching over it. I wanted to convey the idea that even if you feel alone, doing what you like can make you feel better. Also the idea that you are not always alone, even if you feel like you are. I wanted the page to be full of question marks to represent the person's confused state of mind. And I wanted to be the center to be a melting person in a crying position. And I chose this because I thought that it would convey the feeling of loneliness that some people feel and the overall chaoticness of feeling alone.
Moy really pushed himself in this class and asked so many great questions and really dug down deep into a really cool theme about what it's like to be lonely and again, that feeling of not being enough. Fantastic work, Moy. Your magazine turned out wonderfully.
So the point of my magazine is to focus on stress and how sometimes it's okay to let go. If you have drawn, I'm sure that you have also at one point in your life felt stress. It can be a lot of work sometimes, it can be very challenging, and sometimes the most important thing to do is just step back, take a breather, and accept what's right in front of you, because not a lot of people can do that easily, and I wanted to make that a point in my magazine and in my comic. Hey there, I thought you'd be better at this by now. I mean, isn't it weird for a rising artist to struggle this much? Why don't you leave him alone? Are you really upset over a mistake? He's a rising artist. I think patience would be ideal here.
Jeremiah did an absolutely amazing job growing and learning in this class. In fact, we did a huge paint over demo from Jeremiah's piece on Batman for his inspiration page, and it went from this to this just after a demo. I am super proud of you, Jeremiah. Way to push yourself. Fantastic work.
My magazine deals with the mental health focus of anxiety and stress, and how we do things as a way of releasing the stress, or in bigger measures such as disassociation and escapism. I think one of my most favorite pages in this magazine is my comic, as it reflects on my most biggest struggles that's been around for probably many years, which is running away from responsibilities, and my method of running away is sleep. In this comic, it deals with the ongoing cycle of procrastination and lacking motivation, but only gaining motivation out of fear and anxiety. I think with this comic, it can help others recognize their own cycle habits and come to terms to when to stop so they can improve themselves and their mental health. I really need to work on that thing, but I kind of don't want to. I can always do it later this week.
Lazy.
Failure.
I'll work on it tomorrow.
Karen did a really nice job with her magazine. All the color palette was done very well and again connected the magazine. The feeling of anxiety and failure haunts us at night. So many of us can resonate with that on the topic of mental health. As a note, we have cute Hatsune Miku to be able to look at and enjoy when we need those warm, cozy feelings. Thank you so much, Karen. Lastly, we have our influencer students, definitely one of the most hardworking students in the class that turned in a total of 10 pages of a magazine. Extra pages were done, and it's just an absolutely all-around crazy fascinating concept, and I will share that with you now. Congratulations to Melissa for absolutely doing a breathtaking job.
My magazine, I wanted to focus on creating an engaging and interactive magazine that can help people improve their mental health. I know that during the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people, including myself, struggled with mental health. So I wanted to create a magazine where people could just, in private, reflect on their own feelings and be able to get a little bit of support. My favorite page I created was the Tunes page, which consists of 5 songs that really helped me when I was feeling down. This is my favorite page because I really like the lyrics that these songs and these artists have come up with, and I think it really helps if you read the lyrics because they displayed some really inspiring messages.
And we'll just take a few more moments here to look at the rest of Melissa's pages and just congratulate everyone in this class. Everybody did an absolutely fantastic job exploring what it means to them, what their mental health means to them, and how they can help others through their artwork out in the world with coping and making it through these hard times. And remember that it is okay to not be okay. Thank you for watching, everyone, and thank you so much to our class of summer 2022. You guys crushed it. Here's to more adventures and more fun. Let's do this.